What's happening in Greenville, North Carolina in November 2022?
But first, let's hit it! Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel and podcast.
And if this is your first time in our channel and podcast, please subscribe.
Honestly, we call and text all the time, 252-327-3357, and I can't wait to talk to you in person. Okay, so every single month, we do this deep dive into these numbers, and we say, hey, what's happening in our market? Why do we do this? So we can give you up-to-date answers. This is a buyer's market. This is a seller's market. What is happening here in Greenville? This is why we do these macro numbers, so we can have boots on the ground and really understand, while we see these things happening in California or Arizona, it really doesn't matter so much in our local markets all the time. So we need to take a really accept it affects our psychosis and how we think. But in understanding what is actually happening in our local market really does give us more insight into what is going on. And that is why we kind of run these numbers to you, and then we can talk about these numbers and what they actually mean. So you want to add anything?
No, basically, as my wife said, we wanted to break down all the inventory and what is good for you as a buyer and seller to look, and also stay tuned with us because we're going to share you very valuable information.
And then he also gave us some rental market information. So if you're looking for that, stay tuned for that. Okay, so want to hit me with October?
Yeah, in October, basically, we wanted to talk about what is our inventory, which is actually include the active listing, no? Mm-hmm. And also some of them that they went under the contract known as pending.
Right, and then so for October 2022, which is the previous month that we just finished, there's 147 homes that were listed in the market. 71 are pending, and of course 78 are already sold now, which means that sold number can be deceiving because it also goes for the previous month, which we're going to go into. You want to give us the September numbers?
Out of that 147, make sure that we understand 22 of them is a new construction. Mm-hmm. Which basically they had a rate of 214% increase. And year over year, as my wife said, respect to this year and last year, basically we had 1.3% decrease, which is very small.
Right. Well, it still means that less homes actually got listed compared to last year's number.
Exactly.
But here's the number where people are getting. The pending ones are almost half. Less. Yeah. Last year there was way more pending. Interest rates were low, let's be honest. But so what we are seeing is that month over month supply is increasing. So instead of having like 0 month supply, we now have a 1.3 month supply, which still isn't a 6 month supply, which is where it really becomes a buyer's market. We have a 1.3 month supply, and this is and the increase rate of that is 62.5%. So that is where the big numbers have changed.
Which is a good news for you as a home buyer because you have more houses that you can see with your realtor.
Right, and instead of that like 60 or 70 that were listed for all prices. Also, if you're a seller, it's still a good time to sell for this reason. There's not a lot of competition. The 1.3 month is not a crazy 6 month supply. So your home is still going to get sold. It's going to get sold faster than a normal average, just not as fast as last year's quick numbers.
Well, let's not jump on that. Okay. Why we're saying that? Because we're talking about the average day on the market, right? No? And for you that you are a home buyer, average day in the market in October 2022, we just passed it, was 17 days. What about September?
In September, it was only 14 days.
Therefore, you see that you have more room to breathe because you can make a decision and think about it.
It's still, and then compared to last year, we're 18 days on the market. Suddenly, it seems like things have sped up, though. So if you're a seller, it's still a good time. The absorption rate has increased. It's actually decreased from the year over year, but the average days on the market, but the absorption rate has increased.
Well, absorption rate for you as a home buyer, home seller, is really what determines that what kind of market we are. It's a fancy word, but basically we can say that if you look at October and September months before, this rate went from 1.1 to 117. Therefore, we didn't have that much of difference, just 4%.
Okay, so let's talk about the home prices because that is what many sellers and buyers care about, of course. So in October 2022, we saw the median list price was $320,990. Again, my husband did mention there is a lot of new construction out there.
Yes.
The median sales price, however, was $234,000. So this is actually a big difference from last month where we said slightly less. So the median last month was $310,490, but the median sale was a little higher at $249,500. This is where those new sale construction really does come into play.
Exactly.
Because new sales are going to adjust that median list price, but the sale price, not everybody's buying a brand new home, so it can be different. And you want to go year over year? What do you want to do?
Yes, and you said all the sales and listing price, no? Yeah, basically what we're gonna say to you is the median sell price actually went 12.23% increase from the last year. And as my wife said, partially is because of the more new homes hit the market and they are more expensive, to be honest. And if you're looking at the sell price, which is much more reasonable, it's just 4% difference we increased. And you wanted to tell us about that, how much a square price was for the per square feet?
The median single family home square footage in Greenville right now is averaged at $149,000. So if you're a seller or thinking about how much your home is worth, if you take 149, multiply it times whatever your square footage is of your house, it's going to give you the base number for November. A really base number. And it's not good because, again, there's lots of comps. We actually have to come and do a comp. But if you just want to calculate in your head what it might be, there's a fast calculation
and
for
if you bring all the homes, including the condos, townhouse, this number is just going to go $137 per square feet. Therefore, we give you the median. We are not saying, because some of these houses, they sell more, but we are giving you median from the basically low and high end homes.
Okay, now let's talk about those people who are really out there looking for a deal. Because there was 38 price reductions last month, which is amazing, right? So it's up 100%, but 38 price reductions means that people are now coming a little more down to earth and understanding that you can't just stick a sticker price on it, that the house actually has to be of value. And that sold to list ratio has actually decreased.
And the reason that is good for you as a buyer, because you see the houses, as we said, they stay longer in the market, and also sold to listed ratio actually decreased. Because many people may be priced out by the interest rate. That means it's a good time for you to think about it, because if you're a serious home buyer, that is the time that actually is good time for you to buy.
Now, we promised you some rental news, right? So the median rent for all bedrooms and all properties here in Greenville is actually $1,500. This is a month-over-month change of $50 and a year-over-year change of $210. So rents are also increasing here in Greenville.
Exactly. And that's why in the other video we mentioned all of these numbers for the rentals and basically buying home, how it works. And definitely that's what we wanted to mention here.
And if you are a renter and you want to become a homeowner and you don't know what to do and you have nowhere to start, please call us. We'd love to talk to you.